Hey everybody, I'm Kieran.
And I'm Sean.
And welcome to another episode of Angling Spiders.
Cue music.
Hey guys, so before I get to today's video, I did want to say a few things. So we already have an insane amount of views. On 3 of our videos we have over 1,000 views, which is awesome. It's absolutely insane. But we also wanted to say thanks to our subscribers. We have almost 100 now, so thank you for that. Also, if you wanted to know where the fishing videos were, they're on their way. There'll be more about that at the end of the video. So yeah, and now on today's video. So recently in our previous episode we were at McGregor Lake. You can check that video out after if you want. And truth be told, we didn't really think we were going to catch very many fish. So we had been looking through the comments beforehand and saw that there was a few of you that wanted us to talk a little bit more about our gear. So we recorded a few clips about that, and we decided to share them with you today for those of you who asked for that. So enjoy.
One of the things I thought I'd do is talk a little bit more about some of the things that we've added to the kayaks. So the first is a basic sponge, and the reason we have this in here is for all types of different reasons. It's great for getting up some of the water that we end up getting in the boat when we're launching. So I'm using aqua socks, and typically when you're getting into these sit-in kayaks you're going to have to get into the water, and so your feet get wet. You end up bringing some of the water into the boat, and so we just use the sponge to clean up whatever water's in here. You can also get some of the mud off, and of course it also works if you get some fish slime or something on your boat. You can get it off. So basic, 50-cent sponge does a great job. Hey guys, another piece of gear that's been really important to us is our anchors. In the first gear episode, we showed us attaching the anchor cleats to the kayaks, and as part of that episode, we actually showed this blue poly rope attached to it. Our original intent was that we were going to buy some anchors and attach them to this rope, and we bought the poly rope because it floats. While we were looking for our anchors, we actually found that there are prepackaged canoe and kayak anchor kits directly from Bass Pro Shops, and so we decided to pick up a couple of those, and they've been really great. So what they come with is a clip on the end to attach directly to your kayak. Right below that is a float right on the rope, 25 feet of rope, which has been enough for us so far, and a collapsible anchor. And so what I'll do now is shift over to the water to show us using the anchor. So as you can see, collapsible anchor works really good. Folds up, easy storage. One of the best things about this is that it's got a float on it. So just let me put this back down, and I'll grab the float. And so as you can see here, the clip-on end to the boat has a float on it. This is really handy because if you get into some really rapid water or a heavy current that your anchor could actually flip your kayak, you want to be able to release this thing relatively quick. So it's got a quick release, it's got a float on it, and then you simply release it from your boat, and as long as you're in water less than 25 feet, of course, you're going to be able to come back and find your anchor. The other thing that we've used this for, and maybe I'll show a clip from a previous episode at Eagle Lake, is on a calm day you can drop your anchor down and leave it, and it's great to mark the location of fish. So we did do that in that episode, and we were picking up a couple fish, but I had to run back to get some more tackle, and when I got back out I knew exactly where I was fishing. So it works great for that as well. A couple of other pieces of gear that we've added to the boats. One that Kieran would probably say has been critical and is actually under me right now. We picked up these foam mats. The seats in these things are actually quite comfortable, but we typically are out in the kayaks for anywhere from 3 to 6 hours at a time. We do take a break once in a while, but after a while, no matter how comfortable the seats are, you tend to get a little bit sore in the butt. So we picked up these foam mats again from Canadian Tire. I don't remember the price, but they have been fantastic. Definitely allows us to sit in the kayaks for longer than we did without them. So that one's a great one. Let's see if I can get it back under me without falling in. That would be fantastic. And then another couple critical pieces of gear. We went to Mountain Equipment Co-op and we picked up some dry bags. And again, coming back to a previous episode where we talked about our tackle box floating, we wanted to make sure that if for some reason we ended up going overboard, that some of our belongings were going to not only be dry but also float. And so we keep extra clothing, typically on a day like today, for example, rain gear. My car keys are in here, my wallet, twisted up, super easy to use if you've never used a dry bag before. They're waterproof. You simply put in your belongings, you close the flap, you twist it 4 to 5 times, and then you snap it shut. Trap some air in there so it's going to float, and you can just stow it away. There's a lot of room in the front of these Pelican 100 kayaks, and so you just shove it down and you've got instant access. I also keep the GoPro gear in a similar bag, and so there's spare batteries in here. There's the rigging for the underwater mount, so for some of the underwater shots that you see of the fish. Also got a selfie stick in here if we wanted to use that, and sometimes I'll throw a few other things in here. I think my cell phone's in here today, so great to have. Highly recommended if you're using a kayak, because as has even been noted in some of the comments, there is the possibility of getting water in these boats and also flipping them at some point. So you just want to make sure that your belongings are protected and are going to stay dry. For those of you that have one of these Pelican kayaks, there is quite a bit of storage on the side, right beside the seat. And so a lot of what we use is stored there. This is again the GoPro bag. Just slide it on the side, fits nicely in there, tucks away, and I don't have to worry about it. Similarly on this side, I've got the little tackle box that we have on board. I've got some bait in here, and it just keeps everything tucked nicely out of the way. So some great functionality there, and helps to keep your kayak organized when you're out here for a long time. Well, continuing to go through our gear, maybe I'll show the life jackets that we picked up at Costco later on towards the end of the day once we get out of the boats. But we also purchased a number of things that we have attached to our life vests. Some of these you will have seen in previous videos. So the first thing we picked up were just these carabiner bungee cords. Great to attach. They are really flexible, so you can extend without any worry. And of course on this set I've attached my fish grips. These fish grips are very cheap plastic versions that I picked up on AliExpress. Again, wanted to test them out. Kieran's got a little bit more sturdy version that we picked up from Bass Pro Shop. So these have been great actually, and so far have worked out really well, as you can see in some of the other episodes. So this is great. We've got them attached. They just tuck into my pockets. On the other side I've got my pliers, and so again we got the bungee. We were able to access them, but they don't drop in the water, and I can take hooks out relatively easy with these, and they slip back in my pockets when I'm done. So again, just a number of things to make sure that we're not dropping these items in the water, and also keeping track of them so that things stay organized, because there's a lot of things in the boat. So the last piece of gear I'm going to talk about is actually unintended. I'm currently wearing our life jacket. I just talked about the fishing lanyards and the importance of having all of the gear that we have attached in a variety of different ways. And so we've used these to attach basically anything that we worry about dropping in the lake. One of the things that we haven't talked a lot about is the GoPro camera itself, and the mount that I typically use for the GoPro when I'm filming is this head mount. And interestingly enough, one of the reasons why we don't have any fishing videos in the last couple of weeks is because we did go out. We had a great day on Travers Reservoir in southern Alberta, caught some nice walleye, and I dropped the GoPro camera in the lake. Because despite all of the talk of securing everything, the camera was not secured. And so we have come up with a way to do that now. I've added another one of the lanyards to my life vest. It now attaches directly to the head mount gear for the GoPro camera. And I've tested it out. It's quite secure. I wish I would have had this on before. And so we're back in action again. We have a new GoPro camera, and there'll be new fishing videos coming soon. Sometimes I wish I would just follow my own advice. Sometimes it hurts to be an idiot.